how to manage the FastPass tier system, where to get food late at night, and tips for parents and adults-only trips to Walt Disney World. We've got a lot of tips for you today on DFP Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now, I get a lot of mail and direct messages and tweets and all kinds of communication from you guys letting me know the types of videos you would like us to do and the topics that you want us to cover. Now, all of your desired information doesn't always fit nicely into a packaged video, and so what we decided to do is take a few of the things you guys have asked for and smoosh them into one video so that we can cover as much as we can of what you want us to cover. So today we've got what we call Disney World Workarounds, lots of answers to a lot of your questions that will hopefully help everybody out there depending on what group you fall into. So we've got a little something in this video for everybody, I know. So the first thing that we got asked to cover is arrival procedures at the park. So what are tips and tricks for when you first get to the parks? Great concept, great thing for us to cover. So when you arrive at the park for your fun-filled day at Disney World, you'll likely experience your first wait of the day, and that's the security line. So this can take a long time. So if you want to take a moment to survey the security lines and head for one that looks like it has the fewest parties in it, that's probably going to be the best bet. Now, remember not to just follow the crowd. Go to probably the security line that's the farthest away from you. That's probably where there's going to be the shortest line. And of course, the golden rule at Disney World is always to go left, since crowds usually tend to instinctively go right. Now, don't forget that the security lanes usually have 2 lines on either side of each security table, so you don't have to just line up behind everybody. If there's a totally empty side at the security table, then let the people in front of you know to go to that side, or you can go to that side yourself if you want to, but you do definitely want to use both sides of most of those security tables. So if you've got a lot of stuff in your bags at security, then consider using clear zipper bags to compartmentalize everything and make it easier for security people to see, because they do have to go through all those bags and open up every single one unless they can see right into them. So I will often use Ziploc bags to hold things like chargers or food or diapers or batteries or other things that I need, so that I don't have to go through and open up each individual bag inside my bag. Also, having those Ziplocs in there or those clear bags means that you're going to protect those things from any water rides or any rain that might fall while you're there. So it's a good idea to do that stuff anyway. Now, as for the tap style process, when you're done with security, be ready with those tickets or magic bands and make sure everyone has his or her own, since they are connected to your fingerprint. Now, if you have a little one, a toddler, someone who's just turned 3 years old and just needs their magic band for the first time, it may make sense, mom and dad, for you to use your finger for their fingerprint scan when they're first going through, so that you can kind of get through the magic band process a little bit faster. But whoever's finger you use, you'll use the same finger each time, so remember which one you used when you go in with your magic band for the first time. So if you use your finger, mom and dad, or a caregiver, then all that your little one has to do is worry about turning Mickey green with their magic band. Now, similar to the bad check lines, don't hit up the first style you see. Look towards the ends of the tap styles and you'll likely find shorter lines. Remember, tap styles also usually have 2 lines for each one, for each set of tap styles, I should say. And there's also 2 tap styles on each side. So don't go to the first one, go to the second one, so that you're not kind of blocking a tap style for people. Hope that makes sense. It's hard to say. And remember that rides and attractions will also have 2 tap styles on either side, and almost always both are going to be open. Remember too, if you have a pre-park opening advanced dining reservation, you'll want to look for a cast member holding a sign for that particular entrance, or ask a cast member where you should go if you have a pre-park opening advanced dining reservation, because you don't want to just wait with the rest of the crowd of people who don't have advanced dining reservations. You want to make sure you get into the park before it opens. All right, how to manage those FastPass tiers. We are getting this question a lot right now. So FastPass Plus tiers, it's a hot topic. Disney's Hollywood Studios recently announced that as of August 29th, they'll be moving several rides to Tier 1, meaning that you can select only one of those Tier 1 rides when you make your 3 FastPass selections before you go to the park. So you'll need to fill out your other 2 FastPass selections with 2 of the Tier 2 rides. So rides in the Tier 1 category for Hollywood Studios are going to be Slinky Dog Dash, Toy Story Mania, Alien Swirling Saucers, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Tower of Terror. Now, Animal Kingdom and Epcot have been using a tiered system for a while, so we know that it is possible to enjoy all the attractions without spending your whole day in lines. It just takes some planning and probably hitting Slinky Dog Dash one day and coming back to Hollywood Studios another day for Tower of Terror if you want to use FastPass for both. But in order to use those FastPass tiers, prioritize the one you want to ride the most and make that your Tier 1 FastPass for your first day in that park. Now, don't forget, you can also plan on getting up for Rope Drop to get those other Tier 1 rides done with a slightly shorter wait. And if you're an on-site guest or staying at a Disney World Resort hotel, take advantage of extra magic hours to get in before the park is officially open to ride some of those Tier 1 attractions as well. Now remember, when you've used up your initial 3 Fast Passes during the day, you can select a 4th, and when you use that, you can pick a 5th, etc., etc. So for the headliner attractions, just keep refreshing and you might luck out on a Flight of Passage or Slinky Dog Dash Fast Pass for your 4th or 5th Fast Pass. Now, if you want to guarantee short waits without worrying about Fast Pass at all, consider booking an early morning magic or after hours event. They are really pricey, about $125 per person for the most expensive ones, but you'll be able to ride those Tier 1 attractions multiple times in one night, plus you'll get complimentary snacks. Now, this might be a good option if you're on a short trip or you have family members who can't handle huge crowds. We got a whole video on the pros and cons of after hours to help you decide. So how to win Disney if you're on an adults-only trip? Again, we get this question a lot. A lot of honeymooners are headed to Disney World. A lot of people who are empty nesters heading to Disney World for the first time without kids and finally able to take advantage of some of that nightlife. Well, you don't need to have kids to enjoy Disney. Adults-only trips can be awesome and frees you up for some experiences you might not have had a chance to do if you've got the little ones in tow. So those looking for relaxation will find some peace and quiet at the Grand Floridian Senses Spa, and there's a couple of other spas on property as well. Coronado Springs has a significantly more adult vibe since it's geared toward business travelers, and you'll find the same with the Swan and Dolphin. And Animal Kingdom Lodge has a more relaxed vibe that older travelers might enjoy, even if it means a longer bus ride to Magic Kingdom. Overall, upper floors at a hotel tend to be a bit quieter and away from the foot traffic, and the back side of the buildings tend to be quieter than those closer to pools and common areas, so you can request those in online check-in. As for some grown-up things to do, Walt Disney World offers decent nightlife these days, believe it or not. The Edison over at Disney Springs has an over 21 block of time every night from 10 p.m. to closing, where performances are geared toward the older set and not entirely kid-friendly. And Jelly Roll's one of my favorite hangouts. The dueling piano bar at the Boardwalk Inn serves guests 21 and over exclusively. Now, some lounges, while kids are allowed, are more likely to have adult clientele, namely the California Grill Lounge at the Contemporary, Trader Sam's Grog Grotto at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Note that under 21s are only allowed here until 8 p.m. And even the new Dahlia Lounge at Grand Destino Tower over at Coronado Springs Resort is probably going to see primarily adults. And there's also several more adult dining experiences like Victoria and Albert's at the Grand Floridian, which restricts diners to 10 and older. And you'll also find an older clientele at signature restaurants like California Grill Narcoossee's or the new Takumi Te in Epcot's Japan. All are going to be perfect for special occasion celebrations or date nights while in Disney World. All right, tips for traveling with toddlers. From the adults-only trip to one with little kids, things look a lot different, and you've got to be ready for pretty much everything. So use your My Disney Experience app to always know where the nearest bathrooms are and even get directions on how to get there. And also check out where the baby care centers are. I love telling you guys about the baby care centers because dreams come true sometimes when you've got those little ones. They're a great place if you need a nurse or just take a break. They've also got formula, diapers, baby food, snacks, anything you may have forgotten, and you can just head in there, chill out a little bit, maybe watch a cartoon on TV, and just get out of the parks and out of the heat for a little while. Maybe rehydrate a little bit as well. Now, don't forget to bring some favorite snacks for your toddler in case you end up with a hangry kiddo who is not feeling any of the park snacks. I can remember vividly scouring the parks for Goldfish and Cheerios when neither were sold in the Disney parks at the time. Be sure to bring backups of your kiddo's favorite snacks. Trust me, you will run out of them at the worst possible time, so be sure to bring them with you. And finally, as much as we might be park commandos in our pre-parenting or pre-caregiving lives, it's important to know when that will work and when it won't work for your kids. So some kids can go, take a nap in the stroller, be super laid back in lines, be super cool in restaurants, while other kids are really put on edge by crowds and the stimulation and the newness of everything. So be real with yourself before you leave home. Your kid isn't going to be a different kid when they're in Disney World. Whatever their personality is at home, it's going to be 10 times that when you are in Disney World. So understand your kid and understand what they can handle. And be sure to be flexible when you get to Disney World. Sometimes spending every day at the hotel pool really is where to find the magic. And consider only buying tickets for the parks for a few days of your visit. There's plenty to do outside of the parks, and this way you aren't stuck paying for a day when your toddler just isn't having it. You can always go add an extra day onto your park ticket if you need to. All right, best resorts with activities for your kids. This is another question we get all the time. Choosing a resort that suits your kids and your family's travel style is another great way to put the kids' needs front and center and to create unexpected fun for them as well. So much of our planning for Disney World is the exclusive domain of the parents, especially for little ones. And so maybe considering a hotel that they had the opportunity to help choose is a great way to get them invested and interested. So some resorts have awesome pools with splash pads, but for lots of kids, nothing beats Stormalong Bay at the Yacht and Beach Club Resort. So this massive pool, part of it has a sandy bottom area that's zero entry for little kids. They just sit there and play with the sand all day long. There's a lazy river, a whirlpool area, and it has the best slide in Disney World if you've got older kids too. Now, resorts with those super fun splash pads, if you've got kids who aren't swimmers yet, include Animal Kingdom Lodge Kidani Village, Grand Floridian, Contemporary, Port Orleans French Quarter, and Art of Animation in the value resort category. Now, there of course are a few other splash pad options around. So resorts also have super fun activities for kids like African-inspired crafts at Animal Kingdom Lodge and Chippendale's Campfire Sing-Along at Fort Wilderness. And there's lots of other ones. We've done a couple of videos about the great activities at the resorts. Now, lately we've seen free scavenger hunts at the resorts too. We did one recently at Art of Animation and received a free Skyliner pin at the end, but we've also seen them at Wilderness Lodge in Port Orleans French Quarter and even Old Key West. Note that some of these scavenger hunts are reserved for hotel guests only. Don't forget too, most resorts have a playground tucked away somewhere, and believe it or not, even with all there is to do at Walt Disney World, sometimes the giggliest moments happen on those simple, familiar play sets. All right, how to do Disney when you're pregnant. We do get this question quite a bit. So being pregnant in the Disney parks can be really special and a fun experience, but obviously there are some big things to think about. Probably some changes you're going to need to make to your regular park going self in order to maintain your health and safety. So many rides have pregnancy warnings. Those are obvious. Dinosaur? No. Space Mountain? Anything with a bar that comes down onto your lap and then throws you around? No, don't ride it. But some rides might surprise you, so do some research before you go. And maybe plan to take a chicken exit on those rides your family members want to ride, but you can't ride. So just walk the queue with them and then take the chicken exit. Or take that opportunity to find some AC and put your feet up. You know, that's cool. And we've got a video all about some secret places to relax inside the parks if you don't want to head all the way back to your room. Now, if you're on the Disney dining plan and obviously won't be taking advantage of the included alcohol, but still want to get the most bang for your buck, don't worry. Specialty beverages like milkshakes and fun zero-proof cocktails are included too. And the new restaurants at Grand Destino Tower and Coronado Springs have some really delicious mocktails, by the way. And I think we actually also have a great video all about mocktails throughout Disney World, some of our favorites. And last on this list, but certainly not the last thing you'll need to consider, get some comfortable shoes and break them in ahead of time. Disney World is huge, and the walk around World Showcase is over a mile. So mamas, if you're carrying an extra 20 or 30 pounds with that kiddo, it makes a big difference. You do not walk around those parks like you used to, so be prepared. And finally, where to get food late at night. I love this question because I think this is so important. People do not think about the fact that they might need to get food late at night when they're headed to Disney World. They plan their food throughout the day, and then all of a sudden in the middle of the night, you're starving, and what are you gonna do? So I've been there, it's late, the park's closed, and you're hungry. There's a few ways to get a meal after your resort counter service location is closed, and even a few spots on property that are open 24 hours. So room service is gonna be the easiest, of course, but not necessarily the most cost effective. You can usually order a pizza till 1 a.m. and deluxe resorts even offer a late night menu, sometimes with other options as well. So Peekaboo at the Dolphin might be a little difficult to find, but it's pretty easy access, being located just off the boardwalk, and it's open 24 hours a day with hot food all night long. Disney Springs has lots of restaurants that keep their kitchens open until 1 or 1:30, like Morimoto Asia, Raglan Road, Cooks of Dublin. Plus, those are some of our favorite restaurants on property. And don't forget the Edison and Maria and Enzo's Hideaway, I believe, all have late night menus now as well. So if you're on the monorail loop or leaving Magic Kingdom very late, stop by Gasparilla Grill at Grand Floridian or Captain Cook's at the Poly. Both are open 24 hours with limited menus after 11 p.m. Now, if you're over by the boardwalk, you can grab a pizza from the Boardwalk Pizza window, which is usually open until midnight. There's nothing to write home about with this pizza, believe me, but it's a decent shareable option. Otherwise, you can get a full meal at ESPN Zone until midnight as well. So hopefully that helps some of you guys. We do appreciate you writing in your questions, letting us know what you want us to cover. And we'll probably do a few more of these videos from time to time where we're covering these smaller topics and subjects that we can't fit into a big video, but we still want to be responsive to you and make sure you get your questions answered too. So thanks for listening and thanks for watching, you guys. This is AJ from Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.